Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Joshua Sohn, and we are composing live, where we have an up close and personal look at how music is made. Today, we're going to be covering one of my favorite TV shows right now that I've been watching. I took a little break on it actually, but really made an impression on me, and it's called Silo on Apple TV. And the composer, Artli, I'm gonna butcher his name. I believe it's Atli Örvarsson composed the theme and for the score for the TV show. With that being said, it's a really special one, and it actually ties in with my last video from last week that I thought would be well to carry over and try to use some of those patches and those techniques that we went over last week. If you haven't seen that episode, it's the video. It's like a product review video for String Contours 2, which was made by Stress Off Sampling, and I really liked it. I really digged what they did, and I wanted to put it to the test, to be honest with you. So I have tasked myself to do a TV show theme that has this string bed, and it'll be fun. Also, if anything, I might start doing more TV show themes. So if that's something you guys are interested in, leave some comments, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Also, before going on, I just want to make sure that my volume is okay. And I've had a few people mention last week that either as my microphone or maybe it was the music, it was kind of quiet. So I can definitely do better this time around. So let me know if that's the case. So before starting, I do like to shine some light on the track. And this is the original track. It's composed by, again, I believe, Atli Örvarsson. And this is a silo theme. Here it sounds. Put the volume up just a bit more. All right, cool stuff. I really dig that theme. It's just has all the right feels, and this is something that really made an impression on me. It has this it's the epitome of a dystopian theme, and dystopian TV shows or stories are really popular right now. I mean, it's been like that for a while, I guess, with Hunger Games and Maze Runner and some of those other movies and shows. And this one is also based off of a book. So there seems to be this kind of theme of dystopia. Maybe it's a state of the world. I don't know, but it is interesting to know. And when you watch the show, you get really immersed in this underground scene, world or universe that is like part of some kind of nuclear fallout or something happened outside and above on the ground surface area. And so it just works really well. Like the drums are very industrial heavy, and there's a lot of scenes where they're trying to fix their inner engine or combustion engine thing that kind of powers the whole place. So there's a lot of cool things about the music that ties in with that. Hello, Guy Shard. How are you? It's good to see you. So with that, let's kind of dig into the theme. So I do have a little bit of this transcribed, at least the most important stuff. I didn't transcribe everything, but I'll go ahead and show you what I have on that matter. And I already have it with tempo lock on there. So that's kind of the idea. I'm going to skip a little bit over here and talk about the next part. And as I do this, let me just make sure my sections are on here. There's that. There's some chords you can see. We're in key of G minor. And what you're hearing is actually some strings that I already experimented with, so to speak. So I'll actually show you that now. And, as far as the feel, I really wanted to test out the string contours in a more contextual basis where, something that's applicable. So why not do it in a cover fashion? So I'll see or show you this in a more zoomed in motion. But I was raving about this last week, this library called String Contours 2 that just came out. And I was really excited because there's not a lot of libraries like this, and that's as programmable, and that you can do a lot of timed tempo synced kind of things. So what I did was I found some limitations on that being it. The tempo sync bends was a little bit slow on the slow side for something like this. It's not saying I'm not trying to bag on it. It's just it wasn't working the way I would like it to work. So I found a workaround, and I'll show you right now actually. So you have to put this in the rack view, and maybe I'll zoom in even closer so you can see that. But I actually just took it into rack view mode. And then what I did is this gives you the option to view the master window. And the master window gives you the option to have contact not be synced on the DAW tempo. You just got to unclick this exterior button. Because right now I'm in 102 beats per minute in the session. But you can actually detach from it and move the BPM to wherever you need it to go. And I needed to go really fast. This is like almost 3 times as fast. And with that, it actually works. And I had to do that for all the patches that have the bends on there, the tempo sync bends. These are all mono legatos. And as you can see, then it works like a charm. So I'm going to open just this and show you how that sounds. And then because of how it's programmed, and it's not synced to the DAW, something happens with the sustain. So like it only triggers the whatever you call that, the schmear transition sound. But it's enough to really accentuate and emphasize that with my other string patch and layer that together. Here's the other one. There's a little bit of a artifact in terms of that, but once you put everything else in it, I don't think you'll hear it as much. You can also use some tricks later in the mixing to get rid of that as well. But and then I'm just like I mentioned before, I'm layering this with CSS or Cinematic Studio Strings. I'll turn off the piano. Yeah, so I spent a little time yesterday, just like even just experimenting to see if I could do it for this stream, and I was like, yes, I can, and I got excited. So I announced that yesterday to everyone and saying, hey, we're gonna do a new live stream. So yeah, as far as that goes, that's the plan for today. Hopefully we can finish by today. I'd really like to. Pretty straightforward. It's not a long track. Let's just see how much time that really is. It starts around here. So let me just put this at 0. And the track goes till there. That's a minute and 40, almost 40 seconds. So a minute 37 seconds to be exact. So let's go ahead and jump right on it, shall we? First off is there's this cool sound effect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my strings that I worked on earlier, and then we'll get to that a little bit later, and then that way we can layer other things in as well. So this will take a little bit of programming and some time stretching here. So we have our, what do you call it? Rev. Rev is a Outputs is the company name, but Rev is the instrument, and it's really cool. I haven't used it in a bit, but it can actually take a lot of sampled sounds and reverse it, and then you can also take that and put it into whole notes, half note, and quarter note. You can time it so it syncs like a riser effect, but with more of a melodic sound. And I just pulled a bunch earlier today. So what I need to do is sort of find the right tone. It's not going to be perfect, but we also want to get the right pitch. So let's listen to it again. So I hear maybe 2 sounds, and then an octave higher, or 2. So let's just find that note real quick. So we're on the root, which is the key signature of G. And it starts around beat 2 or beat 3 of the pickup. So I'm thinking if I were to choose this instrument, it would sound kind of like this. Okay. Now that to me, I don't know if I have any effects on there. No, I don't. It is a bit too saturated sounding and a bit aggressive. So maybe we say maybe on that one, it's definitely not a yes for me, but, and also I'm just gonna have this ready to go. So maybe we audition each one. Okay, that one has a pulse on it. It's interesting, but I don't think that would work. Okay. That one's cool. I'm kind of curious to hear it an octave lower. Okay. All right. Maybe that's actually a better maybe than the other one. Also, guys, share when you have time, please check out the presentation by Stefano from Sonic Zima about their upcoming piano. Ooh, the reverses are incredible. Nice. I'm excited. Thank you, guy. Let's see here. Okay, that one's cool too. So these all, they're not going to be exactly this sound effect. But if we get it at least close enough, we can do some cool time stretching ideas. Okay, this one, sorry, that one's a little too low and loud. Let me just bring it down just a bit. And also, what I'm going to do, I feel like my headphones, at least on my monitors, are a little loud, so I'm going to bring that down for myself. It's not going to change anything for you guys, I don't think. Okay, so this one actually sounds really good. I think, let me just A-B this. I'm hearing an F. Oh, sorry. So I'm hearing maybe a major second with the G, so a F. So there's two notes, it seems like, and then an octave below that, I think. So which one should I do this on, F or on the F? Sorry, this is triggering every time. That's kind of obnoxious. Let's try that. Okay. Again, this isn't 6 beats. It's only 4 for this patch or for the contact instrument. This one, I feel like the G would be better. Okay, so maybe we do that, and then let's think about some other ideas. Okay, so a bit too much bass. We're gonna EQ this a bit, which is nice. I like how there's an EQ on this. Frequency for the mids. Oh, okay, it says it right there. So if this is for the mids, maybe take some of that down as well. So yeah, a little less bass. I don't know if we need to add treble. Let's just try and see how that sounds. I still hear a bit much in the bass, so I'm gonna cut it even more. Something like that. Okay. And if that's too much, you can even gate it or filter that. Something like that. Okay. That's starting to sound good. The other thing I need to do is just add a bit of reverb, maybe some delay. Let's try that. Let's call this effects, and let's do this as a effects. Okay. I think I have a ping pong delay on this. Okay. And reverb, let's see how much we have on there. We have about let's do about 3 seconds. Okay. So now what I gotta do is take that sound. I think I can do that about that much. And let's go like this. And we're gonna render this. All right. Now that's rendered, we're going to take that much, and we're going to actually no. It stops at 4 beats. So what I need to do is stretch it out to 6 beats. So it starts here, and it goes to the downbeat of measure 2. Okay, and that, like that really sharp sound, we probably want to get rid of. So I'm going to time stretch it even further so I can cut it out and just put a little bit of a fade in there. There you go. So that's that sound we're looking for. We don't want that like really high sibilant sound, because it doesn't have it there. And if you listen on this measure, I think here. Yeah, you don't hear that do you? So, well, at least I don't. So we're trying to copy that a little bit. There's a bit of distortion in it. Maybe, I'm not sure if I keep it here on this one, or if I with my other sound I put distortion. I'm not sure. Maybe we do both. But that's the idea. So we're gonna do perhaps 2 more or so, and this is more of a sound design. You know, if you think about this composition, it's, you know, I wouldn't say it's like the most complicated chord progression and complicated notes, but a lot of times what's actually harder to replicate to recreate a track, or if you're doing like a cover or reverse engineering, is the sound design. Especially nowadays with all these really cool films and TV shows coming out, it's really hard to stand out from the rest. So there's a heavily made sound design tones and sounds that actually are more focused on nowadays, I feel like. And because of that, this stuff takes a long time to try to figure out. Anyways, my hats go off to the composer. So we're going to go on to this part here. Okay, so this one kind of has that gritty sound that I'm hearing here, but it's not quite that sound, is it? And also, there's like some kind of auto panning going on. I don't know if I can get rid of it. If I could, that would be nice. Let's take a look-see, shall we? I'm going to dive into... there's some stuttering going on. I think that's what it's under, stutter here. Also, I'm zoomed in too much, huh? Anyways, you guys can see what I'm doing. Now you can, but now you can see exactly what I'm doing. Sorry about that. If I'm zoomed in, just let me know. I'm doing better trying to show things and more contextual stuff. So anyways, there's your stutter. And then as far as what I have here, I'm thinking I can probably take this off, or just don't sync it and don't do any type of LFO there. Okay, that's a little better. I like the saturation on that. Let's see what else we could do here then. There's some cutoffs. Let's see. I'm not sure what this is. Let's look at the other one. Oh, this one also has a sync. So I'm going to turn this down. Okay. I kind of like this sound now, now that it's not doing so much of the other things that I was hearing before. There's also a tuning knob. I'm not sure. This is actually a source of a cello. That's cool. Maybe we'll do kind of the same treatment. Let's take some of this down. And let's also, let's zoom out again. So I'm going to cut this. Oops, that's not it. I'm going to cut this down just a bit. All right, and again, we're just going to do the same treatments here. We're going to do effects. We're going to do the reverb of the effects. Okay, and I'll take that back a notch. There is a ping pong on the delay here, but not so much on the source. Okay, so there are certain things there. Now, what note should I put this on? Let me just listen to this again. Yeah, it's a bit aggressive, so I'm not so sold on this, but maybe I could layer it in and just for the hell of it do it. Let's see. All right. So same treatment. I'm just going to go to here, push this out a bit more, and we're going to cut off that sibilant. Good. And on this one, we could probably do a little bit of a more of a fade, quite a bit more so than this one, just because it's pretty present. One other thing we do is just take it down and the gain here. Why not here? Okay, so that's the idea. I like that. That vibe so far. Okay, and we do need one that's a bit higher, like let's see, maybe 1 octave lower. Let's just see what else we have again. That's kind of cool. Let's try again. Okay, so maybe we do this one for the F and then this one for the G. Okay, so let's same spiel. Go here, and this one go a little bit quieter, like that. Also, I assigned the MIDI CC data to a whole note here. So there you go. There's that, and then I should copy this one down here. Okay, so I was saying this is an F, and then this should be a G. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's do that. I'm just gonna render both of these guys, and I'm gonna treat them all the same, but doing one pass here. Okay, so both are rendered. And then what we'll do is take these guys, go up to this beat, which is where it ends. Stretch it just a little further than that next bar so we can get rid of the sibilance. And then we got to add some reverb and a little delay. I think those two in combination always help out. Oh, let me try that again. Let's hold down the quick link buttons here so I can do that both at the same time. And let's go somewhere around here. Okay, good. I'm hearing some clicks. I'm not sure where that came from. Let's hear again. Is it the time stretching? That's kind of weird. I'm not sure why it's clicking. Right there. Huh. It's not this one. And it's not that one. You know what I think it is probably... Oh, let's just make sure I don't have any weird tracks here. It's probably just the real-time audio playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to bounce it. See if that does anything. Okay, now it's clean. Okay, so you have to bounce it. You don't always have to do that, but my computer, with all the streaming, is probably struggling a little bit. So as you do that, I think we're good to go. So let's hear how that compares with the original. Okay, let's listen to mine. Okay, let's listen to this one. Wow. What if I put this one down with the other one? That works nicely too. It's just a different note there. Listen again to mine. Oh man, I'm tempted to flip them, but in order to do that, I just have to switch these notes out. Let's try again. I'm missing like a higher pitch sound. I feel like a glassy. So maybe this one we go. Well, I can't really do that. Do I have, let's maybe layer one more sound. Something like this. Let's see what else I have. I also have these in my template. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually kind of nice. That's an octave higher. Let's listen to this again. So either I just bring this one up, or is it this one? I think it was that one, but so if I bring this one up in volume, that sounds a little bit closer to this one. It's a little different, isn't it? Okay, let's see what else we have real quick, and I think we'll have to move on and settle on something. But let's see here. This is fuzzed out piano. I feel like it's more glassy in tone, something like that. Let's try something like that and see how that would sound. So we're going to treat it the same way. We're going to go here. We're going to go up to maybe that octave. Okay. And let's render. And of course, there's a plethora of sounds from Omnisphere and other things. You can really get lost in the weeds, to be honest, with this kind of stuff. But it's really fun at the same time. I always encourage everyone to do some sound design on their own, because it really does make a difference in your overall compositions. Okay, so that's the idea what I was going for. So this, maybe one of these two things can get a little bit grittier. So here's my theory. I'm gonna put some grit on this. There's a few things you could do. We could like lower the bit on it. Although I'm not sure if this the higher sounds. I'm not sure if the higher sounds are as good. You know, you can mess around with that. Let's try one more mode. Yeah, so there's that. And then another idea is add like some kind of tube mic on there. You could do, I say the tube, like a tube simulator. You can add some kind of distortion to it. Here's just a normal distortion. I haven't really used this one. Let's see how this works. So it kind of gives you some overdrive. I'm going to put this volume down. I don't know what the feedback does. Let's just mess around with that a little bit. I guess there's an output knob. Let's actually just mess with the output knob here. So there's a little bit more of that effect that you can do. And I already put some reverb on there, didn't I? Okay, yeah. So let's do a little bit more reverb and delay. Okay. And let's listen to that before and after. So this is before. It's a bit cleaner. This one gives you a little bit more. I don't know, just kind of gives it some character. I don't know if that's the exact sound we're going for, but another one I like using is called Trash by Ozone. Do I have that? If not, that's okay. That one kind of gives me some latency on my session anyways. So the last thing I would mention I mean, there's a lot. Oh, Decapitator. How about that one? Decapitator. That one is by Sound Tools. Radiator, Decapitator. One of those two would be cool. I might actually use this on some of the other ones too. Again, we're gonna mess around with this a little bit more, but I don't want to go so much. But it is kind of fun to mess around with here. Okay, let's try a little bit of that. And I'm gonna actually, I do like the idea of using Decapitator for one or two of the other ones as well. Okay, this one actually attacks kind of late, so might as well put it right there and try again. Okay, something in that realm. It's not going to be 100%, but we're also trying to make it our own a little bit on this one, I guess. So there you go on that. Let's add a Decapitator on maybe this one. Let's just see how that would sound. This kind of will give it more beef. Not just to make it louder, but with some of the saturation we're adding. Okay, so it's a lot louder. So I'll just put that down in the mix about 4 dBs and hear how that sounds. Okay. And now we got to blend some of these so that they mix a bit better. First off, let's bring that down. For some reason, I have it at I had it at 4. There we go. That's not 0. So this one also is a bit timed late, as you can see, even in the, if you zoom in here, it looks kind of late, huh? So I'm gonna also make sure that those time together a lot better. I do have to time stretch it one more time though. Okay. Okay, so let's just, again, I'm gonna solo this one. I'm going to solo this one. Okay, so this one needs to go a little bit faded in. Same with this one. I'm going to fade this a little bit better for all of them. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay, I'm going to also, you know what I should do? Let's not fade in yet. I'm going to bounce these guys that I time stretched. That way there's no funky clicks and pops that you're hearing that it's doing in real time. Okay, so okay, I'm hearing I'm hearing something weird there. Oh, is it this one? Oh, it is. That's so weird. I don't know why it's clicking there, to be honest with you. So that click, it's so annoying that click stayed inside of that time stress. So, okay, so this is a stupid thing, but because it's important, I'm going to do it. I'm going to declick it using RX. I don't know if you've ever used that before. I'll zoom in so you can see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this to get rid of the click and see how that sounds. Yeah. Oh, is it clicking because it hasn't been bounced yet? That's probably why. No? No, that's because I processed it. Okay. Let me try that again. It's not actually working the way I want it to. So should we click again and see declick it? Put the sensitivity to 0 this time and make it wider. All right, let's get rid of this setting. Okay, same thing. So I'm just gonna go like that. Maybe a single bed. What the hell? Let's try again. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Right there. Every time. That's too bad. I think that's the only one that does it. Yeah. So I'm hearing that only on that track. I don't know why it was clicking, to be honest with you. Should I let me try redoing it and see if that will fix the problem. That's really strange. Even the declick didn't actually work, so that's alarming. Okay, so let's try this again, see what's going on. First off, we want to make sure that this track has the same settings, so I'm just going to delete this one. Okay, same spiel. Let's go ahead and time stretch this one more time. We're going to be using this probably like 4 or 5 times throughout the track, so that's partly why I want to make sure this is sounding good. Right there again. That time I didn't hear it, so that's a good sign. I think partly why it was doing that is because I actually was messing around with this really quickly on the fly, which is the transpose tool, and that actually is probably why I was clicking. Well, anyways, I think we're good. That time it's not clicking. Let's go ahead and play it back with everything, and I think we move on. Okay. Okay, so this one here, let's just add a kind of little compressor. It's getting a bit too loud at the end. And maybe we just bring it down in the mix. Okay. Is that enough? All right, I still hear a click. Man, I don't know what's going on. Let me try this. Okay, no more clicks. Great. I'm not going crazy, I promise you. All right, let's go ahead now and go to our next one here. It's 8:45. Okay, enough sound designing for the day. Let's go and move this that we have here and put it into the next beat right here. Okay, because that is something we're going to be adding in on that next beat. I'm not sure where the other ones are, but we'll find them as we come. I think my my mouse also is starting to crap out a little bit. I feel like the battery is dying a little bit. So maybe I do have a backup here. Maybe I'll just use this guy, this old clicker here. Okay, so let's go to our piano now. Piano will be over on the una corda. This is a piano I was thinking of using. Okay, so that's the idea there. Let's try a bit of that and see how how that all ties in together. Here's a metronome. Okay, I can get off of there for a second. Maybe that C was a bit loud, so let's just bring that down. All right. And on this, you don't want it to sound so much on the grid, but we'll come back and see if we need to change any of this. I have a feeling maybe some of that can be moved. Let's go and add just like a bit of a layer and just see if we need to add some kind of synth on that. I feel like if we were to layer that with this guy, and again, I picked these sounds ahead of time to save some time doing that, but I think with the diva, it sounds pretty good too. Let's just see if we can get this to be sound a little bit more under the hood, or just like blended in better. And definitely we have that come in more in the second round, but I'm thinking how would that sound blended? Okay, and as you'll hear, this Una Corda Cotton Reverie preset, it actually has like a reverse sound in there, which I think is cool. But I'm just actually curious if I can get rid of that, just because it's not necessary, but it's cool at the same time. It's not quite what the original does. So let's see if we can get rid of that reverse real quick. So that is turned off now. The tone I really like though. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So there's no reversing. That's kind of it's a little distracting, but it's also really cool. I'm just gonna get rid of it for now. So this is a kind of more of an ambient sound, and I thought maybe we use it either here or later. I don't know if you can hear that on my end. I'm going to bring it up. So I'm going to blend a little bit of that in there. Now, what the hell is that patch? Well, this is my good friend Marco Iannello's library. He's tinkered around a bit. He's a composer as well, but he's also tinkered around with doing some sound design. I'll zoom in here so you can see that better. And this is actually from his, I think, what's the library? I think it's called Piano Keys or Piano Library. It's the one that Spitfire Audio was touting for a while. I'm not sure if they're doing that still, but it's a free library resource, and this one's called Waterfall, and I think you can find it. So it's Marco Iannello, and it's called Waterfall. I believe he sampled this when we went hiking together when he came and visited Utah. Anyways, it's that's the sound. He did some crazy processing, and I really liked it actually for this idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, sort of layer that in and see how that goes. Okay, let me zoom out so you can see that. It's playing. Okay, so I time stretched, well, not time stretch, what do you call this? Retroactively record. So I'm going to do this and put it right here. You can add ambience in reverb in the plugin, but it's also cool to just add something like this in here. Well, I mean, you could do it there in that octave, or you can go even lower. It's more of a drone. I think I like it down on that. Okay, so it's a bit much now, as you can hear. So let's just tone that down a bit. Good. Okay. So there's this patch here. Good. I'll put a little bit less on that bass. Maybe same with the. One thing I'll do here is I think I need to bring this volume down just a bit, just in general. There you go. Good. Okay. And then as we, dial down the balancing of this, I feel like for these guys, perhaps we do that as well. But before I do, let me get this out of the way so this is easier to maneuver. So I'm going to put this over here. It's just for good practice. This is what I do. I take my rendered tracks and I put them into this folder up here called archive. Okay. And then, now that I am able to get rid of those guys visually, but also so I can highlight things, I'll move these guys over here. Let's change the coloring. Okay. All right. And then now I have this nice time stretched on the grid effect. So all of those guys will be playing, and then my first initial thought is we maybe keep the first one at the full volume, but for the next ones after, at least the less important ones, maybe we go like -3 decibels. Something like that. Okay. All right. So let's also see what's going on under hood listening to the original silo theme. Okay. So as we do the riser, there's a bass hit. Oh yeah. And also, I think I jumped the gun. My let me see here. My piano is actually playing an octave too high. So let's fix that. Let's go highlight this. I'm so used to my other mouse. This mouse, I'm like kind of overcorrecting myself here. There you go. Yeah. All right, good. And if this is a little quiet, I have a feeling it is. I'm just looking at the meter here. I can bring up the overall volume, so I'm gonna do that real quick. And what I will do is just add a limiter here, so that it's being bumped up around, let's just say 6 decibels, and let's make sure it doesn't do that clipping here. So let's hear that one more time. Okay, that's probably plenty loud, but I'm gonna just bring it down a little bit for my ears. Okay, so that's the idea. With that, we need to add the booms. Let's add the booms, shall we? I think I loaded up some things, but do I have an actual boom? Let's see. That's a bit punchy. We don't want punchy here. I think we want more of a low sub bass sound. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. I love Fallout Music Group. I also love Keep Force. They're also really good. Fallout Music Group is ran by Random Purcell, and he's also a fellow Utah composer, so I'm really happy to rep him when I can. So with the booms, So like that might be a bit like too heartbeaty sounding. That's kind of cool. It has a weird click in the beginning that I don't know if it's exactly that sound we're looking for. That's cool too. Hey, thanks, Sue. Now, thank you. Okay, this might be a keeper. It's a high contender. So let's go and drag this in. We're gonna add this on beat 1. All right, and we'll put this in the folder, all the audio folder. Okay, let's bring the volume down just a bit. Visually, it's intimidating when it's that beefy looking. Oh, that's about right. Okay, so let's listen to where all of those booms would be. So there's definitely one right there. I'm going to press play. We'll put one right there. Okay, so small problem I guess is the it sounds like there's booms here that are like twice as fast, but it almost sounds like it's the same instruments. Let's listen to this one, and then let's listen to this one. That's actually a little different sounding. It's a bit more in your face for these guys, so I think that would work well. So I think on the next one we need to choose a different sound, different tone, whether that be sub. I'm not sure. Or we could also time stretch that to go shorter in sustain. Oops. Sorry, yeah, I'm not used to this mouse. I only use it on my left hand for certain things, actually. But let's see here. Going back to... let's focus on drums now just for a second before we move on to that second half. I just want to make sure I'm picking a good... That might actually work. Maybe layer it a little bit. That's the taiko. That might work. I think it's not punchy enough. What else would be that? Let's see here. That with the other drum might be a good option. Do I have one, just like a beat, one patch that can do that though, is the question. Let me see. I think I do. I got to. Let's see here. What am I looking for? I forget what it's called. It's Action Strikes, I believe. Action Strikes. Is it Action Strikes? AS. I think I have it under AS. Let's see what I have. AS. Okay. So let's maybe load in all of these guys. And another AS ensemble. Oh, I see. AS. I saw more down here somewhere. AS. All taikos, all hits. And then there was AS cinematic toms. I have a lot of these kind of scattered. Oh, big cinema hits. Okay, let's do that one. And then maybe the heartbeat would be good too. Let's just type in heartbeat. There you go. Okay, so I think one of these will work. Let's turn them all on. And boom, boom. Okay, let's see what we have on big cinema hits first. That's cool. Let's listen to that real quick on that heartbeat. Just curious if it's in that same tone. It's kind of interesting, this heartbeat. I use it every now and then for my scores. And it works for a lot of things. That could work. That's a contender. Let's try another one. These just have a different tone that we're going for. Maybe this one. Anyways, let's move on. Wow. So that one's cool too. Sorry. Sometimes it really punches. Okay. So I'm leaning towards a more subtle one like this heartbeat. Yeah, it could work really well. And maybe layer, I don't know. So this one has high pitch stuff with it. Anyways, I think I'm gonna lean or just try that heartbeat one for this next part. So let's add that in real quick. Okay, and as a reference, I'm going to give myself the high right hand. My little wrist guard here keeps falling. Okay, so as that's playing, let's go to the next part. Okay, right? And I might as well just keep this cool waterfall tone in the background playing. And then we're going to go over to now what I have is the heartbeat I mentioned earlier, right here. Okay, let's go right there. Yeah, okay, so that could work. It's a bit high pitched for my taste, but you don't know until you try. Let's listen to the actual track. I think I heard a eighth note here. It's kind of hard to hear, but yeah, boom, boom. So there's a so 1, 2, 3, boom. So half notes, 1, 2. So it's a quarter note. So we got half notes and quarter notes here. Oh, this one's actually lower. This is perfect. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we'll just do that and copy that over. All right, so go that. And then let's go to the other ideas that we have. Okay, there's a lot of just drudgery some kind of very low tone that's just really going throughout this. It could be a bass synth of some kind. There's also like a pulsy sound. Okay, so a couple of things that I'm thinking here. Okay, so what we need to do on this piano is we need to process it a bit. Kind of make it lo-fi even. So just thinking out loud, what if I added retro color on here, RC20? This is a cool patch. I've been using it. My friend turned me on to. He's a Hollywood composer, and he's like, yeah, this one I use for like all my pop stuff. But I mean, I find it you could use it for a lot of things. So you have here. Hey, let's see here. Let's just kind of mess around with this. There's a digital. Okay, there's some things happening there that I like. Let's add some space to it too. So this is like a all-in-one type of plugin that has some reverb and has some distortion, has other things. But most important, what this plugin does is it gives that retro vibe, and it gives you kind of like a vinyl sound. You can do a lot with it. So I'm gonna add some space though. So if we go to space, well, I'm gonna go do that again. Okay, we're gonna say okay this time, and on the spaces right here, this is inside of the plugin. It's just a reverb that we're gonna add, and let's add some of this. Oh, hello. So this is a I forget what you call this. It's just like a high cut, low cut thing. The most of the reverb is happening more on the low end, so maybe we do something like this. Yeah. Anywho. Just give it more of that tail. Okay, let's just listen to everything. On the second timer, I'm just gonna make that a little tighter. So when I say tighter, sometimes the timing seems a little off. Okay, and I think the notes are a little different, if I remember. Okay, let's change those notes. So this should go to G, and then this should go to D and C. There you go. Okay. So more or less we have the melody in there. Now we just got to add the other stuff around it. And this drum beat that we have, let's just check the second half. There's a lot of cool sound effects and sound design happening here, but most important is just getting that melody in the right vicinity. Let's see if I can do something similar with this one, because I feel like this is a bit flat now after hearing everything else here. The piano sounds cool. I think if we just elevate this a bit, make it a little louder. What else? Let's add a bit more, some kind of styling here. Either, it looks like I added some kind of saturation earlier. Yeah, a little bit of buzzing. It's kind of cool. Let's add a bit more reverb, or how about delay? Let's add some delay this time. A tasteful delay, and make sure we're in the right grouping. Here we go. Okay, so there's that. I kind of want to make it fill up more though. So is it just so I have this one. Maybe we make it really big. There you go. That sounds better. But I don't know about the first half now. It sounds a little bit too washy for me. So what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm going to automate this. So the best way to do that is just go here, set it to where it was originally, around here. I'm just going to do that. Okay. So that way I'm not using too many resources, loading another patch just for the reverb. So we got that. Dun, dun. Maybe we, that might be good. Okay, so there we go. Actually, I'm trying to think. This one is too low. This one is set at what? 4.36 seconds. Okay, let's hear that transition. I heard a distortion. That was kind of interesting. Anyways, that works pretty well for me. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add the next synths that I hear in the second section of this. The second section, the second section of this has a lot of cool pulsey stuff, and I don't think I loaded anything yet. So we need to find that. I don't know if I have anything like that in my template, but that's always a good starting point. So let's go to, let's say one of these guys would be a good starting point. Any of these guys here. Now, all of these weird names that you see in caps are actually from a sound designer named The Unfinished, and that person makes some really good sounds. He uses Diva, Yuhi. Let me go back. All the Yuhi stuff like Diva, Zebra, also Omnisphere, and a bunch of other ones too, like all your synth type stuff that people use. Serum, I think, Massive. He sound designs in all of those. So anyways, this is all from his different libraries. And I think that might be, like something like that makes sense. It might have to be like halftime. Maybe too bassy, but that's the idea. So we can just mess around with these presets because, you know, I'm not a sound designer, but I know enough around to just kind of sort of get the sound I want in a sense. So the one that kind of sticks out to me was this one. So this is called Borealis, and this is in my other computer, but what I'll do is I'm going to just bring out, I think it's a Zebra H, what do you call it? HZ Zebra. Where are you? Zebra, oh, there you go, this one. And let's just kind of mess around with that sound, see if we can get something going here. Call it a pulse. Hey, Underground OG. Hello, hello. So we have here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Borealis, which, yep, it's over here, as you can see. And I'm going to just pick that sound first, called Strombus. And honestly, this might not be the best sound, but we can kind of mess around with that and wrap my head around how this works again. It's been a while, so I gotta figure out how to get out of this. Okay, there you go. And then you can change the volume with the CC7 data, and then let's see here. So it's a bit fast on if this was used as an arpeggiator. We want to go half that speed, so ARP control, and let's change that to eighth notes. Okay. Next is I mean, I'm thinking it should be more drum sounding, so this may not be the best sound, to be honest with you, but now that I know how to navigate my way around this again, I do like that noise effect, but the bass itself is a bit much. So what if I, just out of curiosity, got rid of the bass and just kind of got that high-pitched sound, just for giggles here, kicks and giggles. Okay, so that's the idea, right? With that. So then if I were to go here and try something that's more drum oriented, I do have a bunch of those too. Let's look at loops here. Underground is asking me if you like to send out a track for the review. It's my first attempt getting a chance. Don't want to drop the ball. Do you have a Discord or email where I can send it for review right now? Yeah, let's talk. So I do have a Discord. It's Song Compositions. You can find me there. It's just my channel name for Twitch as well. Yeah, why don't you message me there? I won't be able to talk any time after this, but I could. I'll get back on it tomorrow, and we'll talk some more on that. It's a great idea though. Let's see here. So we got the Strombus. Okay, so I doubled this up, and let's go to some of these guys here. Aha, okay. So the reason why I loaded that up is because now I can go like this, and I can customize this a little bit more to what I need. I think that one was actually pretty good. Let's listen to some of these other ones. So the closest thing is this one. And now we gotta find it. It's actually under the same library, Borealis. And I'm going to move this to loop. And let's find Urbanista. Urbanista. There you go. Okay, so, oh, no. There you go. So let's actually copy this over. I'm going to put JS on it. That's my initials. Okay. And I'm thinking this is our ARP thing again, arpeggiator. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do something like that. I think the gate is how short they are. So we got... Okay. And there's some kind of, what do you call it, effects here with a delay. So, but before I do that, let's just kind of keep it simple. We'll do 4 steps. And then what we got here is we're going to add or take out the delay this time around. And let's just remove. Let's remove that. Hey, admirable legal rationale. Just so you know, guys, if you are putting some spam, I will remove you automatically. Okay, so there we go. It's unreleased underground OG, no problem. Yeah, we'll talk more about that and see. I'd love to hear where you're coming from on that. You said it's for a radio channel. That's cool. Well, hope it goes well for you. If anything, we'll chat more if you have time tomorrow or sometime over the weekend. Okay, so we have this Urbanista, right? Okay, now what I need to do is just take a listen to the track again and see if there's anything we can match here. Okay, so what I'm hearing is not quite that high pitched sound, but it's also just the groove. I'm getting that in my head. Dun 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 dun. It's cool. If I can find that tone or get as close as possible to it, then I think we're okay. But now that I think about it, it's probably not this one. But the groove itself would be more like 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E and so let's make sure that this is on. Da 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 da. Let's say maybe this one. Okay. And it's going to be more of like a clicky, like a low bassy clicky sound, less than high pitch like hi-hat sound. So again, back to the drawing board. That's kind of, I mean, that's a little closer actually. So is it more of like a bassy tone? It could be, but I don't know. This is see, like it could be something like that too, but it's more like a low percussion sound. So again, as I was saying, back to the drawing board. Well, let's just take 5 minutes or so to find something that is close to that sound, that tone. So let's look at the loops here. All right, and most of these, if you play any key, it's going to play the same. Okay, see, like this one is sort of like that. Wow, that's kind of cool. Okay, and if it's not this library, let's just kind of look around and see if there's something similar. Sometimes a sequencer SQ works really well too. Yeah, this is more of a tone. We'll find it eventually. I think we'll find something better than what we have right now. Okay, so this one kind of. It's interesting what I'm hearing here. Okay, oh, I see. So the delay is doing a lot of that. And then we're going to put this on eighth notes and keep it simple. Let's go. This is a cool sound. It's not what I would probably use in the end, but let's just analyze what's happening. There's some reverb here, as you can hear. Let's take that off. If we put that reverb back on, I kind of liked it. It's just a bit much. So if we were to dial that down, and some modulation going. Ah, interesting. Okay. And then some other things we could do. I think there's like there's some kind of pitch thing that's happening where it's randomly pitching. And I'm not exactly sure if it's in here. It's probably in the ARP actually. Let's just make sure that the notes are not being changed. So these are gates. Bum, bum. So this little dial, this fader over here, is actually, I can zoom in so you can see this little thing is going low, high, low, high, low, high. So what if I did that? Oops. Is that maybe not? I'm not sure what that, I thought that was the pitch, but I'm wrong. Let's see here. What's going on? Is it a rate, some kind of rate thing that's happening with the LFO? If I could keep it the same, that would be better, is my thought. And it's just randomly changing pitches here. But it's like a thuddy low percussion that I'm trying to find. Oh man, some of this just dialing in the tones can be tricky. So I'm not sure about this one. I'm not feeling too hot about it, but I'm gonna keep it anyways and just have it on the sideline. So what was this called? It's called Ombo. Oops, Ombo. All right, here we go. So if I were to use something like that, it would be nice if it didn't change pitches. But I could probably use something like that if it wasn't going boom boom boom, but more like a dut dut dut, something like that would be good. Let's just keep moving. So let's see if there's another sound I can find here. Go to loops. Let's see what we have. That's cool. Yeah, I kind of like that one. It's kind of clicky. Let's just go back to the original and see if I can really find that sound again. Almost sounds like it's a drum that's just processed and pitched down or something like that. Dun, 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 dun. It's almost like I have a fuzz box. Let me just see if I can do something similar. Let's see. Maybe I can reproduce something just on a drum kit. Is it like that? It's like going. Let me try this idea just real quick. Okay, so let's grab those two rhythms that I just made. Boom, bum, 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 bum. Let's get that to the grid a little bit tighter. Okay, so if I were to do that, and we could probably just go ahead and, before I do this, 1 second, let's just dial in the tone. So I have it around here at 60. Okay, so if I were to just dial that in, I think we might be able to do something here. I'm curious. So first off, render the thing, and we're going to process this. Oops, wrong key. Let's go ahead and do it 2 bars long. I'm just going to loop this for a second. First off, we want to either pitch it down. So maybe we just do it in here. Let's pitch this down about 7. Let's go pitch. Okay. That kind of works. 7 might be too low. Let's go about 3. And it's pretty subtle, as you can hear. I could bring up the volume. Actually, before we bring up the volume, let's actually add some kind of saturation to this. So that good old decapitator I mentioned earlier, let's add that in. Hey, Sam. Sam is in the house. Okay, so we have this right here. The decapitator is a favorite of mine. It's just kind of fun to shape the tone with it, and you can change the styles. Let's try. Am I looped? Yes, I am. There's a little thump on that. Okay. I mean, this is probably the closest I can really get it to. It's kind of interesting what's going on here. Oh yeah, and this is looping. So we have some kind of thing there. We're gonna add a little bit more fuzz to this somehow. Either we use some kind of distortion. In the past, I messed around with distortion. I'm not really digging that one as much. Let's see what else we have here. This one's called Radiator, also Sound Toys. That's not exactly what I need. Let's look at this one. This is a little bit outside the box, more for a guitar. Let's see what this one does. And I'm not even sure if this will work because I haven't. I don't know. Sometimes I have all these plugins and I haven't even used or activated it yet. So like as you can see there, that I'm not sure if that was activated, but okay. So you know you can put it through some weird processor like this, and see how it sounds. Okay. All right, let's get rid of the loop and let's just kind of loop that for a second and see how it sounds. Nice. And you know, even just with that, it's not panning anywhere, but it almost sounds like it is just with the way it's moving. But you can even put that further and just add a little bit of auto pan, and just get that so it's not as wide, but just get it to move a little bit more. So like a half note maybe. Something like that would be interesting too, just adding a little bit of movement. Okay, and then we can also pitch that even lower. It's fascinating to do that and just see where it goes from there. So that is one idea. Let's see what else we have. Okay, I think we can try adding a pulse now that are it's more like a bass pulse, and it almost has like a loose wire kind of sound. So like there's like a loose wire just going. I don't even know where I would start with that, but I think we need something like that going on here. So let's see if I can think of one off the top of my head. I think I need to just pull out some things and just play around with a tone. So let's go ahead and just see what I have. Sound effect wise, it's probably the least musical in a sense. It's the most sound designed, I would say, in a situation like this. So if I can think of one, I'll pull it up, but see if I can refresh my memory here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. And my friend Marco Ianello actually had one that does remind me of that a little bit, Fiber Network, but I'm not sure if this one would work. Yeah, this is like more of an ambient thing. It's cool though. Okay, so let's just keep going here. I'm trying to think of sounds that sound a little bit wiry. And the only one that maybe comes to mind would be Output. That might have a sound like that. Something in the Signal might be a good one. So let's just see what we have here in Signal. Okay. And if I were to just look over on this opening, what do you call their browser, we could probably find something like sound design, something that is either dirty. Let's just start there and see if we can find something like that. Okay, that is a bit wiry, like a loose hanging electrical wire. Sorry, that's a bit loud, but interesting. Okay, let's keep going. That might work, but it's too fast. Like it has to be half that time. Oh, I see. Something like this. And I'm not sure about this side of things. How do I mute this? Or I can turn it off. Or is maybe that one. Okay, so this is using like a LFO, using a bowed guitar. So I could just mess around with different sounds like that, or even going like a distorted heavy guitar, drive guitar. Let's try heavy metal. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so let's see how this sounds. Mouse keeps falling. It's kind of like that, if that makes sense. So let's see here. This one's called Signal from Output, and we're just sort of riffing off of this 068 Get Around. 068 Get Around preset, but I kind of made it my own now. So every time I do that, if I mess with a preset, I usually start with the preset and I kind of reverse engineer and kind of figure out ways to make it a little more unique. That's what I'm doing there. So there's also synths. That's kind of cool. I mean, man. The closest thing is heavy metal, or even that one's pretty cool too. This one sounds a bit more natural. This sounds a little bit too robotic. I don't know. They're both good. This one actually just octaves. Maybe I do the distorted guitar, but before we go to move on, let's look at the waves or this wavetables synths that it's under. And I just had an idea. Maybe what I do is layer it. So I do this distortion on one side. And then on the other side, if I load it back in, maybe I kind of do the same idea. I change it up, go to a synth, and but the thing is, this one plays different. I don't know if there's a way to copy this side to that side quickly. Let's see, what am I doing wrong here? Well, first off, the tuning's got to change. So let's put this down to -12. Or as close to it as I can. Okay. And then whatever this side is doing, I'm not doing it right. Okay. Super square. Interesting. Okay, and then maybe I need to look into the arpeggio of it inside of wherever that is. So engine, do I need to go to settings? It's not an arpeggio, is it? It's more of a LFO. So I think the LFO's shape is different, or like the amount of it. I just don't know where that would be. Oh, there you go. Advanced. Okay, so maybe I'm not sure why this is panned to the right so much. If I copy the settings, maybe it would do that. Let's see. So this is hard pan, right? I see. But it's just not playing all the way through. For some reason, it's cutting out, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, that's really confusing. Is it this? Whatever this is. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get that going to match. I guess there's maybe just load 2 of these together. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm not sure exactly how to get that to match. It's so weird. Is it the rhythm? The second rhythm? I'm not. Oh, okay. Here we go. Second rhythm. There we go. Got it. So I think. Never mind. Okay, I got it. Okay, so now that I figured this out, let's go to the. That doesn't look centered. This is really bothering me. Okay, let's go to the 0 instead. Okay. I think that's good. Let's try that. Okay. Good. So I think what we need to do is we need to shape that a bit. Lila says, maybe it's a short sample. Yep, it is. It's a bit short, isn't it? Let's look at the rhythm here. So if I think I need to make this more simple. 8 steps. And just has to kind of pulse a little bit and be a little more random. On this side, I'm not entirely sure how you would shape that or get what I just did over here there. But the step. Okay. So yes. So we do the same thing. We treat this like a step. I believe. I'm not sure what this low does. I thought that was more like a pitch thing. Oh, I see. So this is the volume, and when you cross it, I'm not sure what that does. Oh man, I'm on a learning streak here, so I'm gonna turn this off for a second. But if I go this way, is it the way it's panning? I'm not sure. Let's just kind of mess around with this. I gotta figure out what this is actually related to. Some kind of filter. But to me, if I did that, is the most sense. I'm not sure exactly what this does. Anywho, all right, let's go back and add the other guy in. Okay, there we go. And then all we need after that is just add some reverb to taste. So let's add this under a effects. Let's do a pulse. Pulse. something like that. Cool. All right, so we'll do a retrospective recording. Retrospective, I think it's called. I was ahead of the beat, so let's time that better. I just did a little bit of shaping there. I'm not sure if the mod wheel does anything. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So I could delete these guys. I'll just delete that. Okay. So I think that's the idea there. Again, we're gonna use our friends here to use that sound. And then in the recording, let's listen and see what else we're missing. Well, first off, it's loud. Let me bring that down to match the volume. Oh, okay. So I don't have that that little riser effect there, interestingly enough. Let's hear if this riser effect happens here, though. It does, okay. So let's put that riser effect here. And then when we add this, I think there's drums on this part. Nope. Well, there is. I already have that. I guess there's just a little bit of a crescendo here. So what I'll do is add a crescendo effect, just using that idea over here. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, and then what else am I missing? Well, for one, this sound effect is also still too high. So now that I'm listening to more, do I need to bring it down? Let's try. Yeah, then you're like, oh yeah, that's not the tone. But what can you do? You know, you swing and a miss sometimes. So it's more of like a thuddy synth. It's some kind of man, it's hard to explain what kind of sound that is, to be honest with you. It's like thuddy, but it has a pitch to it almost. And if that needs to be more present somehow. So I did have this guy. Maybe we just, I don't know, maybe we find something more bassy. Like something like that, but thuddier. A short sound maybe. Borgie, BL Borgie. Man, I am struggling here to find that tone. So if I go here and go copy this, let's just find that. And I think I can make that shorter somehow. So if I go into presets, Archangel, bass line, which is BL, Corgi. And then let's see if I can make the tone of that really short. And if I that's the shortest we can go in there. That's okay. Let's do this though. Let's go 4 steps on this one. Let's go eighth notes or quarter notes. Okay. And then let's look at the. Well, this sounds actually different than what I had. Why is that? This is the mod wheel. Okay. Okay, so there's like dugga dugga dugga. That's the delay. Let's turn that off. I think the reverb is okay. let's try -12. Okay. That has a bit of tone there. So let's actually get rid of the decay. And there's some glide on there. Let's turn off the glide for now. Yeah, I don't know if this is the right approach, but hey, we've got to start somewhere. Okay. So this sounds a little bit better. Interesting. It's more of a drum at this point, right? That's kind of what we're going for. Let's see. Let's keep going. I'll put the volume up a little bit. There, that reverb, is that embedded in here? No, it's not. Okay. I still hear something like kind of like playing on the right side of my ear, but that's okay. Thud, thud, thud. It's a thuddy sound. So it's an interesting sound. I really like that tone of the original recording. Let's see how we go here. Okay, so that's sort of the feeling. But what can you do about that to make it less? I see. So I already put a filter on here. And I think I'm going to make this one less stereo. And let's mess with the arpeggiator again. So I gotta figure out what this is too. That's something I'm gonna research tomorrow. What are these things? I'm gonna solo this for a second. Interesting. There's like two of those. Okay, and then gateways. These are really short. But how does this sound? Yeah. So we want it short, but almost less tone, more thuddy, more percussive. It could just be a source sound that's processed too. I mean, something like that. Okay. All right. So that's my take on that sound. I think we'll have to move on. So let's do one more thing though without the pulse now. Moving to, well, actually, here's something I should do. I should put a little bit of a distortion on that what I just did, just because I think it needs something for it to kind of fill in a little more, and I feel like the distortion helps with that. Let's just actually do that for a second. adding a little bit of noise. We're going to add some distortion. And the ones that I've been just messing around with have been decapitator. So let's try that. It's not quite the sound. Oh, there you go. Brighter actually sounds better. Okay, here we go. It's really interesting. The sound I'm trying to go for here. This one, I'm gonna do one other thing real quick. See if this will help. Is I'm gonna use a transient master, transient shaper, and this one should work. I'm just gonna remove some of that sustain. Okay. Anywho's, that's good. Now I can move on and just see if I can do something with more pads. So let's listen to some drones and pads that I might have here that would work. These are my go-tos. I think this one for the drone would be good. I think this one too is pretty good, but it's harder to control. Let's see what we have here. Turn that guy on again. So this is the first one. There's that. And then there's that. And actually, if memory serves me right, I did take some time to find something like that too. And I think that's what we need is that bass and some pads. So let's try this. There you go. Oops. Okay, so I have that in there. Wrong note on this measure. Okay, and I think that's enough for the bass. Let's go to the pads and drones just to see if I can fill this up a bit. And I'm not sure how many notes, maybe. Let's go back to the very beginning, press play. I'll mess around with that and anything else. Something like that, although is that the right tone? I'm not sure. Let's listen to if there's any clues to that. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you know, the more I hear that tone in the percussion, it almost sounds like a laser type sound, like a choop choop, but it's EQ'd and stuff. Interesting. Anyways, I am kind of doing my own thing here with that guitar sound, that djun 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 djun. It's kind of cool. Where is that again? Let's see. It's the signal. This one. It's not quite that's happening in the song, but it is a cool pulse that I enjoyed creating. So let's keep that in. Why not? And then what I was gonna say is the presence of that pad is more kind of like that sound, but it's more like a texture, if you will. So, but besides that, I did hear another sound. Let's play that one more time, shall we? Although, did I just get rid of it? There you go. Yeah, I deleted that on accident. There's definitely like a on a G, and it is up there. So let's go back to the pad. Kind of like that. But I do have other pads. Let's see here. Let's just open up all of them. This is just my go-to stuff to save some time. And we might find something here. All right, so we are getting close to wrapping up for today. I was hoping to finish, but this sound design stuff is really, really taking up a lot of time here. So, but again, we want to do it right. I don't want to rush it too much, so I might have to just save this for next time and take a pause at some point today. But let's just kind of keep going here and just see how the next section would play with everything else, and then we'll take it from there. So there's that kind of tone playing throughout here. That's cool. Cool. So that one is not in the actual track, but it is. It really matches with what we're doing here. Ooh. That sound actually sounds really close to the effects in the beginning, actually. Okay, so the closest thing that I heard was this one. Okay, let's try that. Cool. And that'll ring out, and we'll stop it right there. But there's this also cool pad sound that I like using. This is from actually a different library company called Slate and Ash. Really cool. This is kind of the sound that we need to replicate what's happening in the original recording. So I'm kind of thinking what I should do here. Maybe what I do here is I take it down a notch. Kind of make that a little less present. Even take it down a notch here, or in some of the presence here. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll add our little cycles thing right over here. Okay. Yeah, the library is called Cycles from Slayton and Nash. Highly recommend it. Okay. And it's probably around there. I might have to just start at the beginning. Cool. Well, I added a note. I don't know why. I think I wanted to press stop with my right hand or something. Okay, so there's that. That's pretty good. I think that'll give us enough of a vibe or atmosphere to get us to the next part. Now, the next part has some drums, and I won't have time to really dive deep in that. So what I'll do for next time is maybe we'll have some more drums and things like that. But I would like to just kind of give you a glimpse of what it would sound like with this that I built earlier. And when I say earlier, it's actually not in this live stream. It would be earlier today or yesterday that I had some free time on. But it would sound kind of like this. Cool. All right, so let's do this. Let's take the bass line that we have here, which is this guy. And I'm going to do a couple things that I pre-mapped ahead of time, which is boom, boom, and take all these guys and put it in here. Okay. Let's hear how that sounds. Maybe put the volume up just a bit more here. Okay, that's too low. So first off, let's go to the right octave. Too loud, I think. Good. And let's quantize so it's not rushing. Okay, so next is let's play in the piano part. Piano being down here somewhere. Good. Okay. So we're gonna play that now. Remember. And then let's look at actually the notes I put in that I transcribed. So G, E flat. Oh yeah. So a little bit different. Gotta love that slides with the strings there. So let's see. Let's try that again. Let's actually make that a little bit louder. Whoops. Oh. It's actually F sharp. Okay, let's try that again. Last part. All right, let's try again. Okay, let's try again. I flubbed that. Okay, D, not D, but E flat, and then I flubbed the C right there. I flubbed this one too, but I think we got it. So timing wise, that should be good. Let's try it. Excuse me. Okay, great. So that is a good to go for piano, and let's just add this into our synth that matches it. And the synth should be about the same volume from the previous, but maybe a little louder too. So let's try that. And then okay, great. Love the vibe. Once we add drums and other pads, that's going to really fill up nicely. I think that's all the time we have for today, though. So, unfortunately, I thought I could finish, but there were quite a bit of hiccups trying to find good substitutions or good solutions to the sound designs that I was hearing in this track. Hey, thanks, Lila. And as far as everyone else that's watching, I do appreciate it. Actually, on the Twitch side, I actually found out that there's different channels that you can put videos in. So I think I was doing the wrong one, or at least one that wasn't as viewable or popular. So I ended up changing that over to the music channel instead of what I had. I think it was a music composer channel. So if you guys are new to my channel, I first off would like to say thank you for coming and taking a chance. But also, just to introduce myself, if you're curious, I'm a film composer and a game composer out in Utah, and have worked on a few films over the years. I've been doing it for 11 years. Some of those movies have been shown on TV, and I actually will have a few coming out soon. So one is coming out this weekend on Saturdays on the Hallmark Channel. I'm not the main composer on that one, but I did help out on that movie considerably, and that will be a lot of fun. It's called Christmas on Duty, and that'll be playing 6 times in November. So if you guys are curious, you guys can have a watch. You can see some of the music that I've written. There's another one called Murder at the Embassy that I'm also really excited about. That'll be out in November as well, November 14th, out in theaters to select regions, and also just on demand, and also probably on TV at some point. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Big shout out to Sam Sheridan, Lila Foe, Guy Shard for coming out, Underground 00, who else? Oh, Sunu now, and whoever else have been watching. If you guys have been watching, say hi in the future, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys.